UFC Fight Night Cannonier against Nasruddin Imavov is this weekend. I'm going to break down every single fight and give my predictions. Let's start with the first fight, which is Pujar Tamar against Rayan Amanda. WMMA, they matter. They matter. No one gives a fuck about them. They matter. I swear, it's making me so mad. I've watched a few of their last fights, and I'm just gonna say I think Amanda is way more skilled than Tamar. Tamar, like, she has good striking, she has great kicks. I don't think it'll be enough for her. Amanda has a lot of power, like a lot of power. She is slick with her hands, and overall, I think by the third round she'll be able to take out Amanda. So I'm gonna go with a third round TKO. I'm gonna go through these first fights pretty fast, but I don't know. She could have arguably won her last fight. It was a split decision, Amanda. And this is Tamar's first UFC fight. Obviously, UFC jitters. So yeah, Amanda by TKO in round 3. On to the next fight. Cody Stamann against Taylor Lapilus. Now everyone is picking Taylor Lapilus. He's a big name, huge French name. He lost against Farid Basharat, one of the Basharat brothers. Cody Stamann just lost to Douglas Silva DeAndre a year ago. No one thinks Cody's going to win. Now, if you look at the guys that Douglas Silva has fought in the past, he's beaten big names. He's beaten guys like Marlon Vera. Cody Stamann has looked really good against Eddie Wineland and Luan Lacerda. The best name that Taylor Lapilus right now has fought is Callan Loughran, and I think Cody Stamann is just a better, more confident, stronger version of Loughran. So I'm going with Stamann by decision. I know Taylor Lapilus has great counter strikes. His counter strike when the opponent's coming in, slick. He's slick. I don't think he's going to be able to take the pressure that Stamann is going to bring to him and the wrestling. He was probably going to be put against the fence a lot, maybe taken down. It's going to take a lot of time off the clock, a lot of control time. And if Stamann plays his cards right, he might be able to outpoint Taylor Lapilus. And I think that's what's going to happen. So yeah, Stamann by decision. Next fight, Eduarda Moura against Nisi Gomes. Eduarda, she's really good. Really, really good. Beat Montserrat Ruiz, ground and pound, and then she beat her Dana White Contender Series opponent by rear naked choke. That's a very popular submission that she likes. Nisi Gomes, she finally got her big test against Angela Hill, fighting a real fighter. Before that, she beat Yasmin Yahri. I don't know. She beat Yasmin, but that was a flash KO. Same thing with Bruna Brazil. I don't think Eduarda Moura is going to fuck with that. I think she's going to try to take down Denise Gomes as fast as possible, and I think she will submit her very fast. I think it's going to be a first round submission for Moura. Like I said, WMMA matters, okay? WMMA matters. We have to start caring about these girls. Eduarda Moura could be the next big thing. She's undefeated. People need to start paying attention to her. If she comes out and submits Denise Gomes in the first round like this, look out for her because they'll be giving her a title shot soon. I swear. We need someone like this. She's strong, she has good striking, and she's amazing on the ground. Eduarda Moura, first round submission. On to the next fight, Daniel Marcos against John Castaneda. Sexy Mexi. Terrible nickname. But even though Daniel Marcos is undefeated, he has good striking, has good calf kicks. So does John Castaneda. Castaneda's been doing this for a while. It's not like he's much older. He's only a year older than Daniel Marcos. And he's fought good guys like his Muin Gafurov win looks good. Gafurov isn't necessarily the best. His Ho Kong win, he was really great at outpointing him. When I was watching that, I was like, oh, Daniel Marcos is obviously going to win this. When you look back at Daniel Marcos's wins, like, he almost got beat by Davy Grant. When I watched that fight back, the only reason they gave that fight to Daniel Marcos is because he made Davy Grant's nose bleed. Besides that, he lost that fight. If you're going to be losing to Davy Grant, you'll probably lose to John Castaneda. So that's my reasoning here. John Castaneda really heavy on his calf kicks, more so than Daniel Marcos. He has fast striking. He knows how to outpoint people. He's been around for a while. He has submission ability. He has KO ability. He can beat you by decision. I'm going with John Castaneda by decision on this because I don't think he'll be able to take out Daniel Marcos, but I do think he'll be able to outpoint him. So on to the next one. More WMMA. Let's go. Andrea Lee versus Montana De La Rosa. I'm going with Andrea Lee here. Just because she's such a badass, she doesn't quit. Like, she does not quit. She has great takedown defense. Her striking's pretty good. She's gritty on the feet, way more so than Montana De La Rosa. Montana De La Rosa, she throws very slow strikes. She's just not gritty on the ground. She always wants to clinch and take you down. And even then, like, what, she's going to try to get some ground and pound on you. Last time she got that was 2 years ago. Same thing with Andrea Lee. Her last one was 2 years ago on a 4-fight losing streak. I think Andrea Lee wants a win. I think she wants a win really bad. So I'm going to go with Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee by decision. On to the next one. Brad Katona against Jesse Butler. Jesse Butler going down 2 weight classes, which some people are like, oh, man, that dude was just at the wrong weight class. No, he was coming in on short notice against Jim Miller. He saved Jim Miller that fight, and Jim Miller KO'd him. He wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared, and I think he's going to beat Brad Katona. Brad Katona is not that good. I think like he lost to Garrett Armfield. He beat Cody Gibson. Like, I don't know. He's not at the UFC level. He's been on Tough twice. Tough winner 2 times. Like, that's kind of sad. I don't know. I think that's more sad than it is an accomplishment. And Jesse Butler just seems like a dog. Like, he got KO'd. That really sucks for him. But I just think he wasn't ready. He probably wanted a paycheck, and he knew that he could just go in at his weight or close to it. And yeah, so let's hope that he takes out Brad Katona, gets Katona out of the UFC once again. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jesse Butler. Yeah, Jesse Butler. I think he has more of a dog in him. I don't think Brad Katona is gonna be able to do much. He might submit him too, but I don't see that. I think Katona will have better ground submission defense than some of the other guys that Jesse Butler has fought. But on to the next fight, Charles Radke against Carlos Prates. Charles Radke hates the world, apparently. He has the worst attitude. He's a little bitch. I don't know what his problem is or who stuck a pen up his ass. But he hates everything and hates everyone, and I don't really like that. I don't know. Think he's weird. Think he's going to get KO'd. Think he's going to get KO'd in the second round after getting his ass whooped in the first round. Carlos Prates is on a different level when it comes to striking and his Muay Thai and kickboxing. Charles Radke, he had a good finish over Gilbert Urbina, but Gilbert Urbina is not even close to the level of Carlos Prates. Nowhere near. He also went to a decision with Blood Diamond, Charles Radke. That's sad because Blood Diamond is not UFC level. And Carlos Prates, he took out Trevin Giles. It was an amazing KO. Took out Mitch Ramirez. his last 5 fights have been by KO. So I think he's just going to continue that. He's on a tear right now. He's called the Nightmare for a reason. I think he's going to take out Charles Radke in the second round. Moving on to the next fight, though, Thiago Moises against Ludwig Klein. This should be a super entertaining fight. Super entertaining. Ludwig Klein has amazing striking, great hands, great ground game too. He's overall just an amazing fighter. 21-4-1, awesome record. Thiago Moises has been around a long time. It seems like he's fucking an old head, but he's only 29. Same as Ludwig Klein. Both coming off wins. Thiago Moises just KO'd Mitch Ramirez with leg kicks, which Ludwig Klein won't give a fuck. He has insane calf kicks, insane, great movement, great boxing, and I think he's gonna get KO'd. I think Thiago Moises is gonna get KO'd by Ludwig Klein in the third round after a super entertaining first 2 rounds. But I think Ludwig Klein is going to be way on the gas. I think he's going to be pressuring Thiago Moises, putting him up against the cage. Tons of body shots, and I think Thiago Moises is probably going to gas out in the third round, and then that'll be it. Ludwig Klein will get a TKO finish against the cage, put down Thiago Moises. Ref has to come in. I think this Ludwig Klein guy is going to go on a tear in this weight class. He just needs to beat this guy, Thiago Moises, get another shot at someone even higher in the rankings, and I think people will really start respecting him. But on to the next one. I don't know why this fight's here. Not needed. Punheli Soriano against Miguel Baez, or I don't know how to say his name. I'm going with Soriano by decision. Just because he's coming down from 185. I know 185ers usually are not more skilled, but I think he will have more power. And I don't trust Miguel to win. How do you pick someone that lost by KO to Andre Fialho? Andre Fialho is the one that gets KO'd. What are we doing here? Why is 70% of the people picking Baez? I understand. I don't even know how to say his last name. Miguel. Let's call him Miguel for now. First name basis type shit. I don't see it. Like, he has decently slick striking, but he hasn't won in 3.5 years. How do you trust that? I don't know. I'm going with Soriano by decision. I think he'll just have more moments with his strikes, thudding more, showing the refs that he is doing more, has more damage against Miguel. But yeah, Soriano by decision. On to the next one, Julian Marquez against Zach Reyes. Zach Reyes, very unfortunate loss, getting slam KO'd against Cody Brundage. Julian Marquez losing to Marc-Andre Barriel, losing to Gregory Rodriguez. His last one was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, Zach Reyes, fresh in the UFC, 30 years old, in his prime. I think he's going to get a submission in round 2. And this is just because Julian Marquez, I think he's on the downfall now. I think he's on the downfall. He has submission wins. I don't think that means my shoe just made a weird noise. I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't think Julian Marquez has the skill to take out a Zach Reyes and or even go to decision with him. I think he's going to make a mistake. I think he's going to get his back taken and get submitted by round 2. Let's move on. This is going to be super entertaining to watch. Bruno Ferreira against Dustin Stoltzfus. I'm choosing Bruno Ferreira to win by a first round KO. First round KO. His hands, man. I know he got KO'd by Nursultan Ruzaboyev, but what is a Dustin Stoltzfus to Ruzaboyev? Like, Stoltzfus has gotten some wins, like he submitted Punheli Soriano. Punheli is trash. I know I just picked him to win, but he is still trash. And this guy, Dustin Stoltzfus, like, he just loses. He beat Dwight Grant. Who are you? Who is that? I don't know. This should be a pretty easy pick. Anyone picking Dustin, you're on something. You're trying to be weird, different, or don't know the UFC. This should be an easy win for Bruno Ferreira. I don't see how this goes past the first round. I think it's going to be a brutal knockout, and I'm very excited to watch it. On to the next one. Raul Rosas Jr. against Ricky Turcios. Ricky Turcios, people are very much underestimating this guy. Very much underestimating. He's super dangerous in the first round. That's what I've noticed about him. He really wants to do something in the first round. He has good takedown defense and wrestling. His hands are pretty decent too. But god damn, Raul Rosas Jr. is a problem. And he's only 19. He got beat by Christian Rodriguez, but that's because he was Raul Rosas Jr., he needed that loss. He needed that loss to realize, he needs to have his game plan work before he goes all in. And he is an all-in fighter, especially in the first round, which is why I'm going to pick Raul Rosas Jr. to get a KO win in the first round. Again, because Ricky Turcios does try to go all out in the first round, and I don't think it's going to be smart for him against Raul Rosas Jr. I think he's going to get caught. Raul Rosas might put up a submit him real quick. But I think he's going to be able to hit him with ground and pound. I think he's going to really beat the fuck out of Ricky Turcios. Ricky, I don't know. He's just too chill for a guy like Raul Rosas Jr. Raul, with that kind of face, he doesn't care about life. All he wants to do is win. And, yeah. Raul Rosas is probably a future champ with the way he's improving. So this should be an easy win for him. KO round 1. Now, Dominic Reyes, Dustin Jacoby. People think Jacoby is going to knock him out because Reyes has been knocked out by everyone in the last fucking who knows how many years since he has fought John Jones. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to pick Dominic Reyes to win by decision. Just because I don't think Dustin Jacoby is on the level of these other guys that Dominic Reyes has been fighting. I don't think so. He got knocked out by a jab to Ryan Spann, but Dustin Jacoby lost to Alonzo Menifield. Take that one in. Take that shit in. I don't know. I don't trust it. I feel like Dominic Reyes has been really irking for a win. He seems focused. He seems ready. I think he will be more cautionary, but also be ready for the hard punches. Dustin Jacoby has heavy hands. I think Dominic Reyes will have an answer for it. I think he wins by decision because I don't think he'll be able to take out Dustin Jacoby. Jacoby has a pretty good chin. Yeah, I might be so wrong here. Dominic Reyes might get fucked up, but that's just how this goes. I think Reyes will really be able to pull off something that no one will expect. But let's go on to the main event. Nasruddin Imavov against Jared Cannonier. Okay. Jared Cannonier coming off a 2-fight win streak. Beating Sean Strickland, which I think he shouldn't have won. And then he beat Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori, he had moments there. He had a lot of moments there, but he kind of gassed. Nasruddin Imavov, he just beat Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze, warrior, didn't want to quit. Nasruddin couldn't get him out of there. Nasruddin also fought Curtis. That fight ended. Sean Strickland, he almost beat him, but it went to decision. I think he had moments in that fight. It was 100% a Sean Strickland win, but he showed that he could be at that level. Beat Joaquin Buckley, beat Edmund Shabazian. I think Nasruddin Imavov is really coming into his own. I think he's needed time to fight these other guys and figure out really what he needs to do in order to win in the UFC. I think he's figuring it out. He has a great teep game. His strikes are super powerful. He has a great ground game. And honestly, I'm picking Imavov to win. Jared Cannonier, he knows what to do. He knows how to change his striking. He's looking for that title shot again. But dude is 40. Dude is 40. I understand he's gonna be like the next Yo Romero. Kind of already is, but I just have this feeling that Nasruddin is gonna just keep improving. Whereas Jared Cannonier, like, man, it's so hard to keep improving at 40 years old. How much can you ask from this guy? Like, and unanimous decision for Jared Cannonier against Marvin Vettori, but Marvin, like, first round, he had a moment there, and I think if Nasruddin has his moments against Jared Cannonier, he might even be able to take him out. But Jared's super gritty. He's able to take strikes, take powerful strikes. So most likely Imavov won't be able to finish him, but I do think he'll have enough moments to where he will outpoint Jared Cannonier, and by the 5th round, he'll probably have Jared Cannonier tired. He might even go in there and start grappling within the 1st round to purposely make Jared Cannonier tired. And I don't think anyone is expecting that. He might constantly be going for submissions. That's tiring for Jared Cannonier to have to constantly be defending subs. So I think that's what's going to go down. I think Imavov will finish him by decision. That was my predictions for UFC Fight Night Louisville. Jared Cannonier, Imavov. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and